OpenAI has just released their AI browser called Atlas, and in today's video, we're going to look into some of the most interesting use cases, in my opinion, that I've had time to try out. We are going to test some use cases in real time. We are also going to look into the privacy terms and understand how our data is being used. And ultimately, we're just gonna explore the opportunities that AI browsing gives us as online business owners, solopreneurs, creators. So if you're in the space, I'm sure you're gonna get a lot of value from this tutorial. None of the use cases will cover how to add your groceries to Instacart or book your travel. So if you're after this kind of tutorials, there will be plenty on YouTube. But here I want to explore hands-on real use cases, how it can support us. And if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Elena, and here we explore how to use AI and automation to build authentic online businesses. So if you're a solopreneur, online business owner, or creator interested in this, make sure to subscribe to this channel and check out our private community in school in the description below. Let's get going. So how to get access to ChatGPT's AI browser? You go to OpenAI and then you see their press release of Atlas. You can find in the description below as well. So you can get some general information here. And what you can do is you just press download for Mac OS. So it's only available for Mac. It should be available on all accounts, including free accounts in ChatGPT. So this is how you get started. Once you've downloaded it, you will have this icon in your menu below on the bottom panel, and you just press it, and then here how the browser looks like. Two things that I found very interesting. So number one is how to actually identify what type of use cases that you personally can use Atlas for. And here the differentiator is if you have been using ChatGPT extensively, you can just ask it a question, suggest 10 high leverage use cases to use Atlas for my business, okay? So the prompt could be as simple as that, but if you've had your memory enabled and you have been interacting with ChatGPT when you're building your business, it will know so much about you. So let's see what happens, what kind of use cases it suggests. So you can see here, it already bases those high leverage use cases on the fact that, I have a school community called AI Solopreneur Club. I run a YouTube channel. I do consulting and coaching. I sell digital products. So it knows a lot about me. So it already can suggest some of the use cases that are specifically relevant to my type of business, to type of income streams that I'm creating. So it will look very different for you when you ask that, but I highly encourage you to just try it out and see what comes up. So from the use cases that I get is market and competitors research, YouTube script SEO optimization, blog and newsletters. So you see, it's very, very relevant to my business activities. So try that out. And then the second thing I want to do before I actually get going and start using the built-in browsing assistant is I want to ask it, compare the privacy terms of Atlas browser, and Comet browser. So Comet is Perplexity's AI browser. I've created a video on that a couple of weeks before. I highly recommend you check it out. But what I want to understand is, because we entering this more and more AI browsing capabilities, that by default means that we're enabling these tools to get access to more and more of our data, right? So we might give access to our logins. It basically remembers all our browsing history, and we need to make sure that we stay updated in order to understand how our data is used. Compare the privacy terms of Atlas browser and Comet browser. Identify key differences and make an overall assessment. Which one is less invasive to my privacy? It gives us the assessment, and it gives us the notable risk areas. The agent mode, when turned on, is because basically an agent is browsing on the internet on your behalf. It exposes to more risks of phishing and this kind of stuff. It says here that Atlas is less invasive and that it's not privacy perfect. And here it gives some suggestions how to navigate this. I want to show you another. So I did the same search in Comet in the Perplexity's browser, and I think the output that I got was a bit more easy to understand. So here it just compares that ChatGPT Atlas collects limited browser memories while Comet AI collects full browsing data. The model training is off by default in ChatGPT Atlas, and that Comet has it on. So you can see it in more details. Overall, it makes the same assessment that Atlas is a less invasive option. Again, take this with a pinch of salt. Both of them, I think, are pretty invasive to our privacy. So we just need to be aware of that. And I really want to encourage you really reading through terms and conditions, using AI to help you understand them and make informed choices. Okay, so now to the fun part. We are going to try some real use cases. The most interesting feature, in my opinion, here is the feature of assistant, right? So let's say I want to analyze, this is my own video that I have recorded, and regardless what kind of content you create, let's say it's a blog, let's say it's like TikTok, or whatever type of content you're using to build your distribution, you can get support from the browser to analyze it, to improve it, to give you ideas for new products. So basically, what it does mainly is that it removes friction from you having to take screenshots or paste in links in ChatGPT and then going back and forth. So here you can do in the browser. So first thing I do is that I press here, Ask ChatGPT, and then we have this bar panel opens on the right where we can ask questions specifically about this page. Let's say I want to learn what is working, what is not working in this video. So I want to analyze this video and give some suggestions how I can improve storytelling, for example. Analyze the sentiment in the comments and suggest the next 2 new video ideas, for example. So what it's going to do now, it's going to start analyzing the content. Okay, so it gives me feedback that the intro is factual but lacks emotional curiosity, and it gives me suggestion how to fix it. It highlights the things that work well. Narrative arc, it's mostly tutorial, missing a mini story, discover a problem. Okay, noted. Transitions. Yeah, so it gives me a lot of suggestions how I can improve. Here it analyzes overall sentiment, which is strongly positive, and highlights some quotes. So this is really good data for me to use in order to improve my channel. The same thing that you can do with competitors' videos, right? You can analyze a competitor's video, analyze the sentiment in the comments, and then you also ask, like, what are the gaps where my brand can contribute, right? Like, what are the missing pieces that my expertise can bring into this? So I want to just show this capability to analyze the video, do some work on this video, but also analyze the sentiment. You can also do the same thing with any type of forum, with any type of school community, with any type of newsletter or analytics. So you can go to your YouTube analytics and ask it to analyze and give you suggestions how to bring in more subscribers, like whatever that is. But I just want you to picture, like, it doesn't matter if it's YouTube or it's some other platform where you're building your distribution. You can do some deep analysis and come up with very concrete suggestions of improvements. Okay, so let's do another type of use case. This will apply to you if you're providing some services to your clients in terms of SEO, website optimization, improving the conversion rates. If you have your own homepage and want to do some analytics or assessment of how to make it perform better, how to make it convert better. If you have a sales page, so you get the idea, right? You have some sort of a web page that you want to do a deeper analysis on. So let's say in this case, this is just a juice bar or kind of like a smoothie bar that I have nearby. Let's say here we want to say, I want to analyze this competitor and identify gaps in the market that I can fill in with my new smoothie brand. So it gives us the assessment of this competitor. Here we have some weaknesses and market opportunities, right? It says, okay, health authenticity gap. During the juice markets itself as healthy, but many smoothies are sugar heavy and not cold pressed. Opportunities. Own the clean, science-backed wellness angle with organic, real nutrition transparency. given examples. Then it suggests us the feminine holistic lifestyle gap. It gives very masculine, edgy energy. You see, I agree with all that. Like, I go to this place all the time, right? And I can relate. I definitely see what's it identifying. Like, I can confirm that this is the reflections that I have, for example, as well. Here it gives us some potential differentiator ideas and so on. Another thing, what we can do here, now analyze this page and suggest any improvements to UX and UI and to increase conversion rate. This will be highly relevant for a sales page. So if you have your own sales page or landing page, or you're working with clients to help them improve, you can do this type of analysis. So as you can see, when we ask for this feedback, it does a pretty comprehensive audit of all the features, the navigation, and it gives very practical suggestions how this could be improved. So here it gives us the summary, and we have a list of improvements. So one thing I want to try, I haven't tried this yet, but let's stay in the topic with the web pages and SEO, for example. So we all know that right now the SEO, like the search engine optimization, is shifting quite a lot towards the AI GEO, it's called, but basically from how to be found in Google to how to be found in LLMs. So let's see if this browser can help us. So what we want to ask is, let's say, identify 10 tips how this page and brand can improve their AI GEO and appear in LLM search results. Here it comes back with assessment. It says that this page, it ranks well in a traditional search due to brand scale, but their LLM visibility, how they appear in ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, is limited and weak because they lack structured data, conversational content, and local optimization. And it does give us 10 practical high-leverage strategies to make them visible. Here it gives suggestions how to add readable structured data, how to optimize for the AI SEO search, publish conversational Q&A content, create knowledge pages. Because I've been looking at this topic, like, I can confirm that these are the same practices that I would recommend someone doing if they want to start appearing in LLMs. It's super powerful. Imagine if you have a web page, if you have your homepage that hasn't been performing really well, if you have your blog that hasn't been performing well, or any brand web presence, you can just ask the browser to give you suggestions how you can improve. And then, of course, you can prompt it further and guide you step by step and things like this. So this is quite interesting. And the friction of creating screenshots, going back and forth from ChatGPT and things like that, it's gone because now you can do it all in the browser. Another thing you can use it for, let's say if you write a newsletter, if you share some industry updates or insights on, let's say, LinkedIn or any other social media, what you can do, for example, create a brief of 10 most notable AI news from this week. And this is my way of just getting started into understanding what has happened while I slept. Like, it could be during this day. So it already says here, one of the biggest one, that OpenAI launched Atlas, new rules in India for AI generated content that cuts jobs. So it just basically summarizes the news. So another interesting use case could be, let's say there is a report, right? I highly recommend reading reports if it is for your industry. So what we can do is we can say, analyze this report and highlight the most relevant key points for online businesses, creators, and solopreneurs, which is my audience. And from here, we can then go further, right? We can look into data more efficiently. We can do some additional analysis. We can kind of cross-pollinate the trends that we're seeing ourselves and interact with this. So it just gives me some starting points to apply this to my context or my audience. So the last thing I want to show you, and this is the feature that I would say I'm least impressed with yet again. I had really high hopes when their agent functionality came out, and I just cannot seem to find use cases that are relevant to me that this agent can perform well. So To enable agents, so basically what agent can do in this interface is perform tasks on your behalf. So for example, my idea was, if I enable agent here in the chat, can it, let's say, create like a Canva workbook for me? So if I summarize some content that I want to share, or like I want to create a digital product based on something I'm browsing, or some analytics that I find interesting, or some trends that I found, can it create a workbook in Canva? And I've tried that, and the answer is no. So it's just wasted my time. This is not really removing this friction. You can still go to Canva AI and, like, input what kind of workbook you want to have. It will create this for you. So this just becomes a necessary step. I know people are keep showing how they're using it for ordering the food on, in adding to their cart, or like their hotels. This is not some use cases that are relevant to me. I don't use it this way. I don't know anyone who's using this way. So if you're this person, please comment in this video so I know, because I'm genuinely interested. Anyhow, let's say we want to put this to a test, and we want to ask this agent to sign us up for this newsletter. So of course there are some use cases. If you give it access to your Gmail or to your calendar, it can do some action. So you need to enable it to make some action. So you need to give it access. I'm not doing that because it's just not the need that I have. And secondly, I don't trust it enough to give it password to my Gmail, right? To my inbox. The promise of the efficiency is not high enough for me to engage in this, what I deem to be risky at this point of time. This is just my opinion, my assessment for now. I don't give it access to my personal or business emails, access systems, things like that. I can show it, right? So if I'm logged in, I can still show and ask to run analytics, but enabling agent to actually go and do and press buttons and do things there, that's a different thing to me. So if what we ask here, can you sign up? Well, it found a place where I can sign up for the newsletter. Could I have found it myself? Probably. Like if I just scroll down, I can, just probably find it. But this is the tasks that agent can do. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was useful to you. Make sure to subscribe to this channel for more tutorials like this. And do let me know if you found some interesting use cases of using AI browsers. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.